welcome to our program. In today's program, I want to talk about how parents can promote self-confidence in girls. What are some of the tips I want to give you? I want to talk about some things that you can do as a parent that will increase self-confidence in your young girls. Today, I know I have made education videos in the past, but today I am going to be just speaking as a mother. I am going to be speaking from my heart and just sharing some of those tips that have helped in building self-confidence in our daughters. Our daughters are ages 19 and 17, and they are confident young women, and I am hoping that they will continue being that confident. If we are meeting for the first time, I am Teresia, and my goal is to inspire, challenge, and educate our community. Now, when one of my daughters, when she was about 4 or 5 years, I caught her standing in a full-length mirror, and this is what she was doing. That's little tiny 4 or 5 year old, and this is what she was doing. I want to be a white girl. I want to be a white girl. I want to be a white girl. And I just walked into that. And that moment really caught my attention. I'm sure my daughter probably doesn't remember this, but it caught my attention because I realized that she was now in school and she had started noticing that she was different. She had started noticing that her hair was different. I think this is the best thing that ever happened to us, because from that day on, I remember saying to myself, our girls are going to grow up in a country and a culture, and they're going to go through some things that I will never be able to identify with. Now, I grew up in Kenya, and in my elementary school, we were about maybe 500 kids. We all looked the same. We all spoke the same. We all had the same kinky hair. So nobody was different. We all were the same. But now I realize that for my girls, there are things that they're going to go through that I will never be able to identify. So the moment of walking in to my daughter doing this made me realize that from now on, I have to live a very intentional life in the way I relate to the girls. So today I am sharing from my heart some of the tips that have helped us in building self-confidence in our daughters. The first thing I want to share with you is, number one, we make a point of letting our girls know that they are beautiful. Our daughters are growing up in a time and in a world that beauty is all about the outside. If you look at those models in fashion magazines, and if you look at the beauty magazines, the kind of pictures that they're showing our daughters about what is beautiful, it's so unrealistic. You see these girls who are so skinny, who have flawless faces, who have different hair, and that is what they are emphasizing as beauty. They are living in a world that no longer cares about your character, but they care about the size of your butt. It's very scary. So for us, in our home, we have made it clear that our girls are beautiful. And I don't just say that as a mother. We say it, my husband and I say it intentionally, because we believe they're beautiful. So when the girls are going somewhere, they walk down and they all look so nice heading out, and I will stop what I'm doing and pause and look at them and I say, whoa, you look so beautiful. Who is your mother? They think I'm crazy, so they just smile. But they know that we believe they're beautiful, because the world that they are living in is not kind to them. So as a parent, I choose to be kind, and I choose to use my words carefully. Words have power bring life, and they have power for life and death. So I will use my word to create and not to destroy. The second tip is we emphasize and highlight inner beauty. Now, the way we do this is that we use words that are intentionally, they mean that we are highlighting and those qualities that they hold within them, the character, the qualities that we see that are so good in them. You hear me say things like this to my daughters. You are such a good friend. Wow, you really care. Your friends must be so happy to have you as a friend. So words that emphasize and highlight the inner beauty, whatever uniqueness they have that makes them so beautiful inside, we make it our point to emphasize and highlight it. The third tip is that my husband is always there as a father and as a role model for our girls. Now, men play a big role in their daughters' lives. Remember, as a man, you're the first male that they are going to be around. So whatever you do as a man is very important in these girls' lives. Now, my husband has participated in everything. From me and my guidance to father-daughter dance, taking them to the movies and sharing in their interests. He's always there. And with that, he has earned himself a lot of respect from the girls. And if you ask even my daughter who is in college today what kind of a man she wants to marry, she'll tell you like Dad. And whenever she says like Dad, I say, what about him? She goes, smart, fun, and nice. And she'll say things about her father that makes you know that she has been watching how he relates with me. She has been watching how he relates with us, and that has helped them just know that the kind of a man that they will be attracted to will be more or less like their dad. He will be like their father. And my husband to my girls is like, listen, to them he can do no wrong. He's the best thing that ever happened since the invention of sliced bread, and they value his input. Now, the fourth thing is we encourage our daughters to participate and to attend any leadership seminars or any workshops that are being led by women. We encourage them to attend events that are hosted by successful women. We also want them to see successful women who looks like them. Successful women, and I know most of my friends may not like when I say this, but I want my girls to go to events that are sponsored, or the leaders or the speakers are successful black women. Last year I took them to Michelle Obama's book signing tour because they adore Mrs. Obama. She looks like them, and they also love that she's a successful black woman who also happened to be our former first lady. So I encourage them. And if I know a successful black woman is coming around this area, New York area, I will encourage the girls to attend, because this is going to help them, and it encourages them to know that you can be whatever you want to be. You can be successful. The sky is the limit. There's nothing that you put your mind to do that you cannot do. So to me, that is important. And the fifth tip that I have for you parents is let your girls attend and belong to associations that encourages leadership in women. So for my daughters, we have had them since they were 5 years old up to throughout high school. They have always been in Girl Scout. Now, the reason why I like Girl Scout is because, first of all, Girl Scout is fun. Secondly, Girl Scout encourages leadership in girls. Girl Scout encourages girls to take chances and to take, and girls are around other positive girls. And for us, our leaders have been amazing women. Their leaders have been so good, and they have been good role models to the girls. So I feel confident when I encourage them to belong to the Girl Scout movement, because it is a group that encourages girls to feel good about themselves. Also, my girls have always been part of our youth group in our church. The good thing with our youth group in church is that when they're in the youth group, they are encouraged to know that God loves them. They are also encouraged to know that God made them beautiful and that God values them. So that gives them a purpose for their lives. So I cannot underestimate the contribution that the youth group in our church has played in our girls' roles. It has been an amazing program, and our leader for our youth group in our church, she's an amazing woman, and she has poured so much life into my daughters, and I am forever grateful. She has encouraged them. They look up to her. They think she's their second mom, because that's how much value and that's how much she has contributed to our girls' self-confidence. The last thing I want to share, the last tip, number 6, is encourage them to volunteer. Now, volunteering does something to two people. For the girl, it helps them feel good about doing something good for somebody else. So for us, our girls have been volunteering, like coaching young girls in sport or in dance or anything else. They have also volunteered in soup kitchen. They have volunteered in Salvation Army, food pantry, and they also volunteer in teaching Sunday school in our church. They teach the younger kids class, and by doing that, it helps them feel responsible. It encourages them to feel that they are doing something for somebody else, and in return, they feel confident. I see my daughters, they get very happy when they're planning their class, to go teach in the Sunday school, or when they're preparing for vocational Bible school to teach a dance class. It helps them build their own self-confidence. And lastly, parents, and hear me from my heart, don't use language like saying things to your girls that like you're fat. Those words, or you look like that dress make you look like this. Don't encourage that kind of talk, and don't use it yourself, because you're just going to create and make them feel more, they're going to feel like, oh, even mom thinks that I'm fat. The world out there is already judging them. So don't participate. Encourage them. Tell them how amazing they look. Tell them how proud you are about them. Tell them that you're so proud of their accomplishments. And lastly, remember the Bible says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Our girls are growing up in a world that will tell them that they are fearfully made, and they will omit the word wonderfully made. That's why you hear them, in the world you hear, oh, she's a angry black woman. No, our girls will not grow up to be angry black women, because even as their mothers, we are not angry black women. Our daughters are fearfully and wonderfully made, and as parents, we need to remind them of that. We need to encourage them to feel good about them. And we as a culture have a lot to be desired. The culture doesn't support our girls, and we need to be there to encourage them to be self-confident. And I believe that you can, parents. I believe you can, and yes, you can. Please stay tuned, and I hope that you come next week and you watch our program. We do not take you for granted, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. And until next time, yes, you